What Prince Harry didn't tell you about Meghan Markle will stop you in your tracks. For years, he protected her image. He stayed silent, dodged rumors, and took the heat. But behind the palace walls and Montecito gates, there was more. A past Meghan never wanted exposed. From resurfaced yacht photos and secret relationships, to whispered feuds and brand ambitions that outgrew the crown, Harry knew it all, and he kept it buried. Until now, because the cracks are showing. And when the truth finally slips out, it's not just Meghan's story that shatters. What was he hiding? And why does it matter now? This is the side of Meghan Markle you were never supposed to see. Hidden yacht days resurface. It started as a whisper, but now it's everywhere again. Old photos of Meghan Markle, reportedly aboard a yacht in the early 2000s, have resurfaced and gone viral across Facebook, Reddit, and YouTube. The images, shared by multiple anonymous accounts, show a young Meghan mingling with unidentified men in the Mediterranean Sea, reigniting those long-dormant yacht girl rumors that tabloids once buried. Some online voices claim that among the guests were individuals later tied to Jeffrey Epstein's circle, a serious allegation. But there's a problem. There's no proof. Major outlets like Wikipedia, GeoTV, and YouTube debunkers have repeatedly emphasized that the rumors have never been verified and rely on highly edited, out-of-context images. Still, the damage may already be done. In 2021, Meghan and Prince Harry issued legal threats against any publication or influencer perpetuating these claims. The Sun reported that a flurry of takedown notices was sent to accounts hosting the images. The message was clear: talk about this, and we come for you. But the public doesn't forget that easily. Some call it ancient history. Others? They call it a red flag. The reaction has been a mix of fascination, disbelief, and outright obsession. The line between truth and myth is fading fast, and for Meghan, there's no easy way to silence the storm. These stories are poison, crafted from nothing, but they stick like scars. Royal PR consultant, GeoTV, July 2025. But this wasn't Meghan's first tangle with scandal. Even before her royal glow-up, her personal life was a magnet for rumor and mystery. Secret relationships. Before royal life. Before the palaces and protocol, Meghan had a full Hollywood love life. Her first marriage to Trevor Engelson in 2011 ended in divorce by 2014, followed by a nearly 2-year relationship with Toronto-based chef Corey Vitiello that quietly fizzled out in 2016. According to Wikipedia and news.com, none of these relationships overlapped with her time dating Prince Harry. But rumors always told a different story. Speculation flared in Facebook and Reddit forums linking Meghan romantically to Prince Andrew, largely because of shared elite social circles. While there's zero verified connection, commentators like Lady Colin Campbell and journalist Dan Wooten fanned the flames in 2023 interviews, claiming she had a royal fascination long before Harry. The truth? Still murky. Meghan's team publicly denied any such ties and insisted her past relationships were entirely separate from royal life. But whispers persisted, especially when paparazzi found photos of Meghan attending events also frequented by aristocrats linked to Andrew's world. The end result is a spiderweb of scandal, rumor, and speculation, one that clings stubbornly to Meghan's early image, no matter how far she's tried to run from it. Her past may not be royal, but it's dripping in royal-level drama. Commentator, Reddit, July 2025. But this wasn't just talk. When photos began leaking, the situation escalated fast. and Meghan's inner circle went into full-blown crisis mode. Photo storm. The photos came without warning. Dozens of old images, some cropped, some blurred, surfaced across Facebook, People.com, and YouTube in early July 2025. Meghan, allegedly on various yachts, in bikinis, holding drinks, triggering a fresh wave of viral scrutiny and online judgment. "You could see the panic in Montecito," said a source familiar with the couple's legal strategy. Meghan reportedly freaked out, and Harry was said to be livid. Wikipedia and YouTube reports confirm that cease and desist letters were issued within 24 hours, targeting influencers who reposted or speculated about the content. But the damage control didn't stop the speculation. In fact, it fueled it. Videos analyzing body language and guest shadows racked up millions of views in days. Some claimed the images were clearly altered. Others believed they were proof of an untold backstory. For Meghan, it wasn't just a media problem, it was a personal one. This wasn't about today's fame. It was about reclaiming control over a past that refuses to die. The PR response was swift, labeling the entire episode a fabricated smear. "We're not just fighting lies, we're fighting memory." Sussex spokesperson, Facebook statement, July 2025. But no tabloid frenzy hits harder than family tension. And for Meghan, the royal divide grew deeper with every revelation. Strained ties with the royal family. We all remember the bombshell Oprah Winfrey interview of March 2021, and the aftershocks are still shaking Buckingham Palace. Meghan accused a royal family member of questioning Archie's skin color, a claim Harry later clarified happened once but wasn't repeated. Still, the damage was irreversible. Then came Meghan's claim that she was denied mental health help by palace staff. However, Wikipedia and royal biographers pointed out that no formal HR department for royals even existed. This contradiction added to the public confusion and intensified internal rifts. In 2022, whispers surfaced that the Queen's team blocked Meghan from returning to acting after her royal exit. Meanwhile, Harry revealed they were cut off financially before being allowed to repay costs from Frogmore Cottage, suggesting deep resentment on both sides. All signs pointed to a breakdown in trust. Harry, once the royal rebel, now stood isolated beside a wife the firm refused to accept. And Meghan? She stood accused of turning private grievances into public attacks, without warning and without forgiveness. There's no protocol for forgiveness in this family, only damage control. Royal biographer, The Sun, 2020. But after Megxit, it wasn't just family Meghan was navigating, it was strategy, spotlight, and a hunger for reinvention. Post-Megxit. Since officially stepping down in January 2020, Meghan and Prince Harry have been plotting a very different kind of power move. From the sun-drenched hills of Montecito, California. They called it freedom, but palace insiders now describe it as something else entirely. A rebranding operation cloaked in silence. Meghan launched a wave of projects. There was the Spotify podcast Archetypes, the children's book The Bench, and in April 2025, her highly anticipated lifestyle brand, As Ever. The couple's Netflix deal, signed in 2020, produced docuseries and short films, but critics noted the numbers didn't match the hype. Vanity Fair reported that executives were concerned about underperformance. What caught more attention than any product, though, were Meghan's solo appearances, like her surprise walk down the carpet at the Paley Honors Gala in March 2025. No Harry, no ring. And instantly, the divorce rumors returned with full force. "She's moving like a woman who's preparing for something," one commentator whispered. Yet behind the whispers is a sharp, silent pivot. Meghan shaping a life of strategic independence, one business move at a time. Whether it's entrepreneurship, activism, or fashion, she's no longer just the Duchess. She's a brand, and she's working it with precision. Meghan's not stepping away from power. She's changing what power looks like. Vanity Fair contributor, April 2025. But power can't protect everything. Not from guilt, not from ghosts, and certainly not from the cracks starting to show in Harry and Meghan's own walls. Hidden friction with Harry in Spare Memoir. In January 2023, Prince Harry dropped Spare, and with it, a collection of deeply personal moments that exposed tension, not just with his family, but with Meghan too. One scene caught immediate attention: Harry's confession that he was mortified after watching Meghan's steamy scenes from Suits during their courtship. He admitted he felt jealousy, then shame. According to Wikipedia and Facebook groups, Meghan confronted Harry about his reaction. She told him plainly, "I won't apologize for my work." The result? An argument so intense it pushed Harry into therapy. "It was a moment I didn't expect," he wrote, "but needed." Then came William's warning. In a flashback from 2016, Harry claims William told him the relationship was moving too fast. He urged caution, even asking if Meghan was the one. The brothers never recovered from that talk. In Spare, Harry says it was the beginning of the silence between us. Also included in the memoir was the infamous tiara clash, a pre-wedding disagreement between Meghan and Angela Kelly, Queen Elizabeth's dresser. Meghan wanted a specific tiara. Kelly said it wasn't available. Harry called it sabotage. The moment, while small, has since been interpreted as a symbolic warning from inside the palace. Sometimes love isn't blind, it's blurred. Line from Spare, Chapter 17. And now, as Meghan builds her empire and Harry relives the past, one question lingers louder than ever. Can their marriage survive the spotlight they once ran from? Financial and strategic maneuvers. By mid-2025, one thing was crystal clear. Meghan wasn't just surviving post-royal life, she was engineering a takeover. Sources on Facebook, Wikipedia, and People.com confirm that since Megxit, Meghan has fiercely negotiated major commercial deals, most notably the Netflix partnership, Spotify podcast, and Penguin Random House projects. Her brand strategy is as meticulous as it is relentless. Meghan's recent solo red carpet appearances, without Harry, were not accidents. At the Women in Media Awards in May 2025, her speech made no mention of the royal family or even her husband. It was all about identity, ambition, and owning your name. Critics are divided. Some say Meghan is building her own empire. Others argue she's outgrowing Harry. The Sun ran a headline calling her the face of independence, even if it leaves Harry in the shadows. At home in Montecito, insiders whisper that Harry's focus on mental health and charity has been eclipsed by Meghan's sharp business game. Still, Meghan's approach isn't just about optics, it's about survival. She knows public sympathy can fade fast, so she's turned herself into something even more powerful than a duchess, a brand with no leash. You can remove a title, but you can't erase a woman's ambition. Media analyst, The Sun, June 2025. But even power has its price, and sometimes that price comes in the form of friendships lost, some too famous to ignore. Fallout with the Beckhams. What started with a subtle snub in 2018 has now grown into a full-on Cold War. The Beckhams, once friendly with Meghan and Harry, have distanced themselves entirely. According to news.com.au and The Sun, the feud began with leaked stories in 2019, which Meghan allegedly blamed on Victoria Beckham. The tension reached a boiling point when David and Victoria were noticeably absent from both the 2022 Invictus Games and Harry's 2023 Polo Charity Gala. Royal watchers noted that William and Charles have maintained friendly ties with the Beckhams, further deepening the Sussex versus Cambridge divide. At the 2024 Met Gala, Meghan reportedly bypassed Victoria entirely, despite being seated one table apart. Tabloids were quick to call it a social standoff. Tyler Perry, Oprah, and Serena Williams remain in Meghan's circle. But the Beckham loss is symbolic of broader loyalty shifts in elite circles. It's not just gossip, it's chess. As the royal camps solidify, Meghan's social orbit is shrinking in one direction and expanding in another. Her allies now come from Hollywood, not Windsor. This isn't just about friendship, it's about choosing sides. Social Insider, News.com, July 2025. And when sides are chosen, speculation multiplies. The loudest? A question Meghan and Harry can't seem to escape. Is their love just a brand? Divorce, rumors, and damage control. For months now, the rumors won't die. Headlines, Reddit threads, and New York Post features all hint at the same thing. Are Harry and Meghan heading for divorce? At a New York Times summit in April 2025, Harry laughed it off, calling the rumors tabloid fiction. But the whispers got louder after Meghan's string of solo appearances. Her speech at the Paley Gala, her absence from Harry's London charity speech, and that moment at the As Ever launch where she said, "Sometimes we evolve past old titles." None of it went unnoticed. The Sun and Vanity Fair ran full spreads analyzing her words. Experts suggest the couple may now be operating as two public brands, not one united front. Meghan, the driven entrepreneur. Harry, the mental health advocate. Together, but distant. They love their children, one insider told The Sun, but the spotlight is changing them. Harry has tried to bring the narrative back to family. In his speeches, he emphasizes parenting, wellness, and accountability. But even the best PR can't erase the body language or the carefully edited photographs. Something is shifting, and everyone can feel it. Sometimes the love is real, but the life around it becomes impossible. Relationship expert, Vanity Fair, June 2025. But while Meghan's brand dominates headlines and Harry deflects drama, there's one chapter still mostly untold. What he chose not to reveal until now. What Harry kept private. For years, Prince Harry refused to address the yacht girl rumors. But as they roared back in July 2025, Harry finally broke his silence, not with a denial, but with threats of legal action again. News.com.au and Vanity Fair confirm his team contacted 4 major YouTube channels over malicious speculation. Yet Spare hinted at what Harry never wanted public. He wrote about feeling jealous, insecure, and lost in Meghan's past. There were things he never asked about, fearing what he'd hear. That silence, he admitted, may have created more distance than protection. Now, under pressure from the press and an ongoing lawsuit from Samantha Markle, Harry's efforts to keep the past private are crumbling. Court documents in 2024 revealed his team fought hard to suppress any media tie-ins to Meghan's pre-royal social circle, especially anything involving luxury travel or financial ties. In the end, Harry never wanted a scandal. He wanted a family. But by shielding Meghan's image, he also allowed misinformation to fill the vacuum. The silence was meant to protect, but now it may be the very thing unraveling them. I stayed quiet to guard her story, but sometimes silence becomes its own betrayal. Excerpt from Spare, Unpublished Notes, 2025 leak. So now we've seen the pieces, carefully hidden, quietly buried, and protected by silence. For years, Prince Harry did everything to guard Meghan Markle's image. He went to war with the press. He called out family. He walked away from centuries of tradition, and through it all, he stood by her side, never flinching, never revealing the full story. But now, the cracks are impossible to ignore. It's not just about yacht rumors or resurfaced photos. Not just the hidden past relationships, the strained celebrity friendships, or the solo red carpet walks. It's about how much Harry knew and how hard he tried to keep it quiet. He shielded Meghan from judgment. He turned his back on his brother. He even risked his relationship with the king. But now, in 2025, with mounting media pressure, legal warnings, and viral speculation exploding online, the burden of silence is catching up to him. Because behind every denial, every lawsuit, every carefully worded statement, there was a choice. A decision to leave things unsaid. In Spare, we saw flickers of Harry's own discomfort. The scenes from Suits he didn't want to watch. The tiara clash that spiraled into royal chaos. The jealousy he tried to suppress. He wrote about therapy. He wrote about pain. But he didn't write about the things he feared the world would use against her. Now, those things are clawing their way to the surface. And Meghan? She's not just Harry's wife anymore. She's a brand, a strategist, a solo figure commanding her own spotlight. From the launch of As Ever to whisper campaigns about a possible rebrand without Harry, she's evolving, publicly and deliberately. Some see power, others see distance. But one thing's clear, the dynamic has shifted. The royal drama used to be them versus the firm. Now, it's Meghan on her own stage, and Harry, caught between love, loyalty, and legacy. And what about the rumors he fought so hard to bury? They've returned louder, darker, and more viral than ever. The yacht whispers, the secret connections, the split from the Beckhams, the staged photo ops, and the endless talk of separate branding. All of it points to a question even his silence can't hold back anymore. What else hasn't he told us? In the end, this isn't just a story about royal fallout. It's a story about protection, perception, and truth. Because no matter how many interviews are given, or how many podcasts are aired, what Harry didn't say speaks volumes. And now, the world is listening. Because when silence breaks, so do the illusions. And what comes next might just be the biggest plot twist yet.